Here you go, brand new Rover 416i. Now, if you wanted to buy this car, and why not, it would cost you the thick end of £15,000. This, on the other hand, is a new Mercedes C180 Classic, and very nice it is too. If you wanted to buy this car in this country, you would be looking down the barrel of 20,000 of your pounds. But what would you do if I said you could buy this Mercedes for the price of that Rover? You'd say, yeah, right. But it's true, I am not having you on. You can buy a showroom spanking Mercedes C180 Classic for exactly the same money as a brand new Rover 416 injection. How? By jumping on a big silver bird. That's how. You see, new cars in Britain are the most expensive in Europe, and that's official. Because we're right-hand drive, the car makers think they can lift our legs and charge what they want. Yet in places like Brussels and Holland, new cars are much, much cheaper. So, to beat the system, all you do is order your right-hand drive car at the cheaper price in Europe, ship it back to Blighty, and even though you've got to pay VAT, I promise you'll come out massively ahead. You could save up to 5,000 quid on a Volvo V40 1.8, 3,400 on a Rover 214 SI, and a very solid 4.5 grand on a Toyota 1.3 GS. Now, there are several reasons why we've chosen Amsterdam. The Dutch speak English, most of them. Our strong pound is making their guilder look increasingly weedy, and the devils have to pay up to 40% tax on new cars. So manufacturers keep the prices in Holland deliberately low. Perfect dynamics for a bit of a bargain. And it's all perfectly legal, decent, fair and honest. Since the block exemption laws of 1995, we can buy our cars wherever we want in Europe. So there. Top Gear decided to put it to the test. Protected by legislation and armed with a large wedge and a suitcase full of lozenges for my very sore throat, we went to the land of clogs and Edam cheese to buy a right-hand drive motor to UK spec. With hopes held high, we rang, we faxed and we visited as many dealers as we could. I'm looking to buy a C180 Classic right-hand drive here in Holland. Now, could you do that for me?
No.
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 No. It's impossible.
You can't do a right-hand drive.
Impossible.
No.
But all we came away with was a flea in our ear.
I cannot believe it. They don't even want to sell me a Nissan Elmira.
Out of the 20 dealers we contacted, only 3, Fiat, Rover and Volvo, were prepared to sell us a right-hand drive car. The rest blanked us. Now, we expected a few obstacles and a bit of toing and froing.
But what we didn't expect was so many knockbacks, dealers telling us point blank they weren't interested in selling a right-hand drive car to us.
So we asked a car import broker what the hell was going on.
What we do, we specialise in importing cars from the continent at discounted prices. Some of the things we've encountered with manufacturers are things like surcharges of up to £1,500 just to have the car in right-hand drive. Now that surcharge brings that price up to the UK price. Other things are things like administration fees of between £200 and £400 for the paperwork involved in right-hand drive cars. And the other thing is just the main dealer refusing us point blank, solely because they feel intimidated by the manufacturer that they might have their franchise pulled away.
So you're saying that the manufacturer is actually putting the frighteners on the dealer and saying, don't sell to British buyers or we'll make life difficult for you?
Definitely, definitely.
But the car makers say there's no conspiracy, just complications.
The problem that British buyers may well face is, of course, breaking into the distribution system that motor manufacturers have for their various markets. They're extremely sophisticated and, of course, as one would expect, computer controlled, so that special one-off orders like this do cause terrific problems in the supply chain. But the delays that might occur should not get in the way of a manufacturer or a dealer making sure that that customer's needs are eventually met.
A dealer doesn't have to sell you a car in another European country in the same way a shop doesn't have to sell you anything if it doesn't want to. Our concern, however, is that the manufacturers are actually preventing them, one way or another, from selling a car when they might otherwise want to. In our research, we found that some dealers actually told our researcher that they weren't allowed to sell a car to UK customers, or indeed that they would be in trouble, their franchise might be under threat if they did.
Even Volkswagen, who were recently fined £68 million by Brussels for refusing to supply Italian dealers who sold cars to Austrian and German residents, said no. Rover, on the other hand, couldn't have been more helpful.
Rover gave me some information about how to handle, and we are not allowed not to sell cars to British buyers. If there is a private person coming over to buy a right-hand driven car, we are not allowed to refuse.
And he's right. Even the government agrees that's the way it should be.
European law must mean for the UK consumer the entitlement to buy goods in any country at local prices. British consumers shouldn't be held to ransom because we're an island or because we drive on a different side of the road.
So where does all this leave us? Right back where we started from.
By law, you should be able to buy a right-hand drive Mercedes in Holland for the same price as a right-hand drive Rover in the UK. But you can't. It looks like the car makers aren't too bothered about the grand dream of European harmony. And they'd rather you and I didn't skip off to Europe to buy our new motors on the cheap.
But this is not the end of the story. In fact, it's only the beginning. Because we at Top Gear are absolutely determined that the manufacturers will not obstruct us from buying our cars wherever we want. In fact, it's our legal right. So, as soon as we've sorted out this minor problem in a corner of a foreign field, we'll be telling you exactly what to do, where to go, and how to do it. Watch this space.